All right, so let me get started with this bad boy. So last class, we went around and we took our base mesh, our starter mesh, which is the blocking mesh. We took that and we took it a step further, right? We added the tires, we added the headlights. We started refining a lot of these shapes, and we came up with something like this, right? This is what we have so far, and I'm gonna tell you guys what I did after we had left class, so you guys don't feel lost or you feel gypped or something like that. I went and did some magic stuff behind your back. I did not. I did not do any magic or anything like that. All I did was I went ahead. Let's zoom in to this guy right here. So the side panel, I looked again at the side panel, and what I realized is, well, the side panel is actually straight on, and what I'm seeing is his foot, which is what gave me the impression of that curve. So I went ahead and fixed that. So like I went ahead and I turned that into a straight, kind of straight away right there. So that is what I went and did while the cameras were off, so to speak. Another thing I'm going to want to address is I'm probably going to want to address this little peekaboo situation that we're getting right here, where the tire is popping out. So we're going to want to address that as well. I think I can just probably move this apparatus and all this stuff down, and that'll probably fix that. Let's move these down. Hit W on the keyboard and just move these down. Just like that. Alright. Alright, so something clean now. Alright? Alright. So I'm starting to dig that. Right. So the next thing I want to do is I want to start to fix these shapes in here, the interior, and maybe add some seating for this guy. So that's gonna be the next piece for us. So we can get started there. And as you can see, because of the way we built it, well, we've got all of our shapes and stuff already in here. So this last part is just finishing, and I think I threw a turbo smooth on this, but if you look at this, it's kind of like boxed off. So I'm gonna want to in my I just threw a turbo smooth on a box. that was literally the approach at the time. I was like, let me just see what that but what I need to do is really just throw an edit poly modifier on the box, and then hit 2 on the keyboard, W to grab my edge tool, select this edge, ring it, right? And then right click, and then I can do the connect options right there. And then just do 2, like that. And then if I ring it again, I can connect it like that. Right, and then now if we turbo smooth it, it'll give us that kind of shape. Right? Easy enough, easy enough. Just because of how the lighting is, it looks like it's kind of smooth at the top. So what I think is right here, control backspace. Turn on no board. So you guys can see what's going on. Then select this guy, right click, and then chamfer. Something more like that. Let's do by 2. And then like that. And then you can just select these side pieces right there. Delete 3 on the keyboard. Select those. Hit R, scale them in. Boom, like so. Scale them in. Control select the weld. Right click. Weld. Your threshold's way too high, so I'll do 0.001. Goes from 72 to 60, just like that. Hit 2 on the keyboard. Select that middle one. Control backspace. Right, so I'm getting rid of it. I don't need it. Just wanted it to do the welding for me. Now we've got clean topology, clean geometry all the way around. It's good to go. All right. Yep, and I think it's supposed to be that kind of that soft. I might even take these guys off and see what it does. Way too much. Ring, shift, click, connect. And I can turn this on so I can see what it's doing. So I can turn this on and, start to really see how my edge, right? See, the closer that edge is to the harder it kind of makes that. So I can kind of make it as soft as I want. So I think that's kind of like that. And then you can see the back is kind of soft, so we're going to need to throw an edge loop right here. So we'd have to do just do a swift loop, and then you can just throw it right there. So it's going to keep this edge, right? It's going to keep that edge as well. Just like that. It's supposed to be like a handle or something, so I'm pretty sure, you could probably like extrude this or something to make the handle workable, but we don't need to right now. So this is more than okay for what we're trying to go for. Alright, so now let's select this guy. I'm going to turn off this turbo smooth, go into the wireframe, just hit F4 on this guy, and then we can see what we're working with. Alright. So I'm just going to separate those so that I have an idea of what's really good with that. So I'm going to pull up my pure ref board again with my my different kinds of lotuses just to see so that's a pretty cool, Ooh, look at that. I actually have modeled one of these before in the past. I'll show it to you guys one of these days, but yeah. Let's see. We're gonna need to address the steering wheel as well. But I'm kind of liking these kind of leathery striped seats. That's the idea. I like that. I like that a lot. Maybe we can even put some seat belts in there or something. That'd be cool. Okay. All right. All right. So let's get off with this. I'm just gonna extract my shape from this guy here. Actually, give me 1 second. Rod. I think yesterday I was looking at some hot rods, and they are a little more similar, a little more closely related to this car. So let me show you guys what I was looking at. It kind of gave me the impression that it's closer to a hot rod. Yeah, maybe I can't find the photo I was looking for. I saw the other day, but well, I'm going to just throw on the seats that we were talking about. So we can use that as our base, right? And then we can just shift drag this out like so. I'll use it as an element, and then I will select this bottom piece from it and pull it up to make sure I have the right one. Seems I have like an extra poly there, so I'm just gonna control backspace it to remove it out of the way. It's probably from the symmetry modifier. So yeah, this is the seat. So I'm just gonna pull this guy up. Let's imagine this is a seat. And I know this is like a cartoonish kind of thing, so it's not gonna be like real accurate or anything. It's not supposed to be like, you know, but I'm trying to give him a seat that would work. So let's just look again at our pure ref board. So the seats are kind of like that. So it kind of like it's like a foam thing that goes the other way, and then it's kind of like a leather thing. Okay. So what we can do is actually, instead of this going out like that, we're gonna select this guy right here, right click it, connect those two, and then just bring this guy in like so. Since it's supposed to be like, you know, like this. And then just drag this guy to the ground like that. And I think I'm going to delete that guy and that guy. Yeah, that guy. And then select this guy. Now I'm just going to use this as a reference. So they've got at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to delete 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Alright. So they've got like 15 in there. We might do like 7 or 6 of those in there. So we'll do ring, right click, connect, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, and that's going to give us that same impression, right? And then we can just extrude these. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to I'm gonna throw a shell modifier on. Actually, let's select our chair and then detach it. Let's detach the chair. Pull this out so I can have more. Okay, I want to actually just attach it as the chair. And then select the chair itself. And now, what I want to do is right click and then let's do an extrude. Let me see. Oh yeah, what I wanted to do is I want to shell it. Let's do that before this. Let's do a shell. Okay. So I'm just going to reduce this guy. Actually, let's split these into the bottom because that's how it would be. So split this guy up. And then let's go back to our shell. Now they're split apart and they can work separately. So now I just want to increase that inner amount till it meets our thing. Alright, just like that. Let me move this guy over here so I can seriously look at it. Right. So now if I just throw a turbo swing on it, you'll see it. Okay. Now let's go into the shell. Then under the shell, I'm going to throw an edit poly modifier. Turn off the turbo smooth. Then select our edges here. Oh, okay, I see how it works. actually want to do is bevel all of these, actually. So we're gonna do just that. So we're gonna do a bevel.
Oh, sir, your stream isn't on.
It's not.
No, you had disconnected for a second.
Oh, did I? Oh, let me see. Oh, sorry about that. Let's go OBS. Go live. Or is it back?
Yes, it is.
Okay, thank you. Sorry about that, guys. All right, so I just hit that bevel on there, and then we can check what it does and see if it's giving us that the result we want. All right, so I kind of like that. I'm gonna have to throw an edge loop in the middle of that. So um, yeah. All right, just turn this off. So you change the bevel profile so that it bevels that way on the couch part. And do the same thing. And I'm only doing 4 of them because that's halfway. I'm just gonna symmetry the rest. And just bevel that. Okay, so I'm gonna select these. Let's ring, then add. Just connect one. You'll see why. Alright, it's giving us that. Oh look. Alright. So I'm gonna do the same for this top part. Just gonna select these guys. And then ring, right click, connect one time. And then we can get that same kind of look. Alright, now that we've done that, all we have to do now is just throw a symmetry modifier on this bad boy. We should be good. Right now it's fusing those. It's not. Okay. Okay. And if we want, we can even make ourselves kind of like a little trim. Alright, I'm going to make a little trim so I can just go edit poly right here, select this guy, and then create a shape. So I can create a shape from the selection, make it a linear shape, and then select that guy, and then enable and render, enable in the viewport. Alright, so we can then just reduce our scale all the way down like that. So now we've got ourselves a trim. Oh, okay, okay, I see what happened. Let me delete that. Oh, 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 oh. Wrong thing to delete. It's going off the old instead of the new, so see it stops right there. Feels like there's one on top of the other. There we go, that's what I thought. That's exactly what I thought was happening. So let's turn this off. So we cut that. Okay. Now, if we do the edit poly, it should allow us to add the trim. And I'm probably going to want to throw an edge loop in the back here so it's more of a harder edge, but because it's a little more cartoony, I might not do it. Okay. Make sure. Alright, yeah, that looks right. So now let's create shape from selection. Now this should be correct. Enable in viewport and then just reduce the radius. Cool. Alright. So now if we throw on this little, alright, we can give it a little bit of a little cool factor. We can do the same to the bottom. Even though we're not gonna see it, I think it's still like a, you know, it's a cool feature we can add. Alright. Now let's address the doors. These are pretty easy to do. Just gonna do edit poly here. Actually gonna pull these guys down. And then select this. Might just yeah. Let's just throw a shell modifier on it. Let's actually detach them, the doors themselves, not the baseboard, but just the doors. So I'm just gonna leave this in place, and then I'm gonna detach this guy. Okay, now let's just throw a shell modifier on him. Shell. I think I need it all outer. More outer. More inner. Single. Right, I really want them to be flush with the side panel. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just select my chair itself and then throw an FFD modifier on it. 4x4. Hit 1 on the keyboard, and I can just use that to pull this guy in. Just take off my angle snaps and just pull this guy in a little bit, so it's right in there. And I'll do that for the other side. Alright. So now I kind of wanna Okay. So let's unhide all. See what we got. Okay, we got our seat in. Alright, the next thing we want to address is this trunk area. This trunk area. And another thing I'm going to add is I'm going to add some tail lights to this bad boy as well. So, yeah, fun stuff. And I'm actually just going to duplicate. Like, this is as easy as this is going to be for us, right? I'm just going to grab these. I'm literally going to use this as the tail lights and the headlights. Alright, so tail light and turn signal. Okay, let's now address. So I'm gonna put is okay. Give me one moment while I try to find a reference to use for this bad boy. All right, there we go. I found something. Okay. So the tail light and this guy are actually supposed to be on here and here. So you're supposed to be like right here. So what you're gonna need to do with this is just go into the edit poly. Alright, I'm gonna turn off my turbo smooth. Hit F4 on the keyboard. Just gonna go into my edit poly. I'm gonna select these two right here. And just control backspace. Right. Just like that. I don't know if I want to do these as well. It just needs to be a little more squared off, like that. I'm not making anything else, I'm just using what I already have. So I'm just going to go in the top view. Hit 1 on the keyboard, F3. Select these guys at the top right here. Just going to move them back. Shrink. Move those guys back. Right? And then shrink it again. And then move those guys back. But now I'm just gonna rotate them. And it's right here. Let's just move this guy. here. Select what I had before. Let's edit poly. Let's see what I got right now. So now, this dude kind of wanna. Let me shrink it one more time. Grow it twice. Alright, so the easiest way for me to do this, I'm just going to split the bulb from the base so I can rotate it freely. So I'm just going to select that and just split it. Right now, I've got this guy right here separate, and I can just rotate it freely however I want because it's no longer connected. And now I can focus on it. So now I can just select this guy like so, rotate it to the angle that I want him to be at, and then just place them where I want them. Alright, but before I do that, let me actually increase this a little bit so it's got a little more dimension to it. And then we can rotate it up. Hit W on the keyboard. I'm just going to pull this guy right in place. Hit E on the keyboard again, just like so. And then we can select this guy. Right. Just going to pull this guy out like so. Now what I can do is I can select this guy and this guy. I can just bridge them. Right, just bridge these guys. Check mark. Control. Select these guys right here. And control backspace. Because this guy needs to be kind of straight on with this guy. So we're going to have to bring this guy. Let's select this guy, hit grow. Let's just scale it in a little bit. Put my turbo smooth on it. Okay. And scale it up if I want. Move this guy up a little bit. So this is kind of, let me show you that. It's the reference I'm using for it. So I'm using something like that. And then I can do something similar with this guy where it's kind of elongated, and I'm going to do the same thing where I did where I just took these guys. Bottom first, control backspace, right? Control backspace. Alright, and then I can just bring that, right click, connect twice, and then pull those like that. Alright. And then I'm going to want to select these guys, hit grow, control, turn it like that. Just going to pull this guy out a little bit. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Something more like that. And this one, you can just make sure that it's flush with this backside. It's kind of like in the middle-ish. Okay. I want to address this. Just looks kind of weird to me right now, so might want to. Let's see. Let's fix what I'm looking at. Yeah, I think that fixes it. Yeah, there we go. There we go. That feels a lot better. Alright. So these guys have like a little cover. And you can see they got a little leather cover and stuff like that, which is kind of cool. Might go ahead and add that to it. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and add the leather cover to it, because I think it would add a little more flair, a little more pizzazz. Alright, so the cool thing is we can extract the shape again. Like, we can just extract it. Alright, so I'm just going to shift drag up and out of there. Hit element, okay. And the reason is because I want to actually do something else in here. I want to inset this a little bit. I want to inset this guy. Check. And then just extrude. And so it gives us the idea of like, this guy has It's kind of, you know, it's more realistic. If we ever rendered it out, we'd want to, just gonna put like right there so that we're at least covering these guys. All right, so now I can just delete that. I'm gonna select this guy like this, hit R, shift, drag him in like that. So we'll have a cover that if we remove, we've got some cool little geo inside. So it's not like, oh, this guy just covered it just because he didn't know what to do with the inside. So, you know, now you can essentially remove this leather and still have something cool on the inside. All right, so do 0.001. So we went from 127 to 119. That's perfect. Because it doesn't matter what's in the middle. I just want to make sure I've vaulted all those and control backspace. So now I've gotten rid of them. Right? So now I can hit Alt and Y. Oh no, actually, let me just throw a shift loop because I don't have my hotkey set up yet. So that's my fault. So I'm just gonna throw a swift loop up there, throw a swift loop up there, ring this, then right click, and then connect, not by 7 but by 2, about 30 like that. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna Alt Q this so I'm just looking at this. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to want to address is these side lines right here. So I'm going to hit this edge mode, select these side guys right here, right click it, and then connect. So how many do I have here? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I need 6 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to connect. I'm just going to scale these guys in a little bit. Bring them a little further up, like so. And then hit check. Hit 1 on the keyboard. And then just start connecting these guys. So then my topology is right click and then connect. Select these guys. Right, connect. You just connect these guys, connect, or you can just Alt C. That's the cut tool. It does the same thing. Just got to make sure it's selecting what you want it to do. All right. And instead of doing it again to the other side, I'm just gonna, you know, symmetry it so I don't have to do it over and over again. You guys know me. I'm a creature of lazy habit by now. All right, so let's take this guy right here, and then what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna create like that leather piece. So I'm just gonna pull this down, and actually it only goes to, it should only go like to like right here. All right, so we just want to select all these guys, and then actually everything except for this front guy, and then just pull it down like that. Right? So now I'm going to do the same thing that I did. I'm just going to delete this guy. Hit R on the keyboard, shift, drag, scale it in like that, scale it all the way in, control select the vertices, right click it, weld, 0.01, scale it in a little more. Okay, now weld options again, so it goes from 285 to 277. I'm going to select this middle again, control backspace, Gonzo, we've got clean topology, all the way around. So now if we throw on that turbo smooth, we're gonna get at least clean topology, but I don't want it to kind of bow like that. What I want is I want to add an extra edge loop. So I'm just gonna throw a swift loop like right here, so it keeps this edge. I'm gonna throw, let's see if I need to throw another one right there. Okay. And I feel like it's too sharp right here, and that's just because I need to cut these guys. Just do a new turbo smooth to see what's going on. Alright. So we've got a lot of gumbiness going on at the bottom here whenever we throw our turbo smooth on it. Gumbiness in this front area. That's because we haven't symmetried it to the other side. But that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Alright, so I'm just going to actually select this guy, delete. You know, you guys know the drill by now. Alright, just select R, scalar in. Alright, start scale, 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 scale. Control select the verts. Alright, I don't even know if I'm going to do that. Right click it and then weld. And scale it in some more if it's not welding. Right click again and weld 293 from 301. I know it did the welding. Alright. Control backspace to remove those guys. Alright. And the reason that we're getting that is because we've got a lot of we're getting a lot of geo right here. You see how bunched they are together? That means that the closer these guys are together, the sharper this edge is going to be. So one way for me to do away with that issue is I can just select every other one that I have. I'm going to ring it, and I'm going to hit control, and I'm going to collapse them actually. Let's collapse those. So what you'll see now is that I'll have something a little softer in my leather area. Alright, so let's throw a little more life into this leather area, right? This little leather thing. And I'm just gonna bring this guy down. I'm gonna select these guys. Move these. I'm gonna squeeze these guys in a little bit. Just a little bit. That's a lot. It's a lot of bit. Okay. Then I'm gonna actually do the same thing that we did for the chair. And we're gonna make a trim for ourselves. We're gonna make a trim. Alright. Actually, let's do a turbo smooth. And then let's do an edit poly. And then we'll do our trim out of this. Because we want it in our smooth state. So I'm gonna create the shape from the selection like so. But instead of the circular one, I want something that's a little more squared off. So I'm going to do the rectangular, bring this guy in, bring this guy in. Actually, no, let's not do the trim. Instead of doing the trim, we're going to detach this hood. We're going to throw a shell modifier on it. Alright, so I just detached it. Now I'm going to select it. I'm going to throw shell. And it'll do something better for us. Alright, so you want an outer one? No, let's do an inner. Let's just do a turbo smooth. Alright. There we go. That's what I want. I prefer that. Method. Oh shit. Okay, I think I messed up. Okay. Instead of doing it here, actually cut that. And cut this. Then detach it from here. Okay. Now this, whenever I add my shell, old Shelly. Let's add old Shelly to the mix and see what happens. Alright, there we go. 1, 2. Okay, old Shelly. It's gonna need a little loving. So let's give Shelly a little love. Let's add a little edge loop to the corner. Like that. And then we're gonna reduce the shell. Because this is some thick leather we got here. That's a little too thick. Alright. Alright. Now we've got kind of our leathery cover. I'm gonna assign this black color to it. Affect the pivot, center it to the object. And then just pull this guy down like so. Let's do unhide all. Alright, so now we can see what's going on. Alright, I'm actually gonna pull this guy all the way down. And turbo smooth. I'm gonna ring this and then connect. Let's turn on this turbo smooth and then let's do connect 2 and then whoop. Do na 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 na. Alright. Then do the outer mount. There we go. Now we've got ourselves a nice trim. Nice leather backing. Nice lights. We can delete these. Alright, everything's looking good until we throw turbo smooth on this area and it goes, haha, you're wrong. You're not even close to done. So let's throw turbo smooth on this guy. Oh no, look at that. It turns into smashing pumpkins. Alright, let's do this. Alright, so right now we're getting a bit of a funk job going on. So let's fix this funk job. Just gonna just connect. Okay, connect. Connect. I usually have this hop mapped to my hotkey. It's usually left on my hotkey, so I just go boop boop, click, boop boop, click. Which is technically what I'm doing now, but you know. Saves me doing it the granny way. Alright, so I'm gonna hit 2 on my keyboard and then hit ring, right click, connect those two. Yeah, right now we got some funkiness going on. I need 2 of these and slam these guys to both sides like that. Like that. And then we will retain the shape at the top, this curve. What we now need to do is retain the shape at the bottom. And the way to do that, you guys should be following my drift by now. We grab this swift loop, we throw this edge loop all the way near the bottom of this mesh, and throw on the turbo smooth, and voila. Look at that. Like taking candy from a baby. I don't know who'd want to, but like taking candy from a baby. Alright, so now let's just do 2. Got 2. Got some smooth, nice smooth transition. I like that. That's what it looks like in the reference. I just might need okay, so let's add another swift loop. And I think I'm gonna add it like right here. Pull it back a little bit, like that, like that. And boom. Alright, cool. Coolio, coolio, coolio. I'm trying to think of what else is left. What else is left? We've got 10 minutes. Let's address. Oh. We don't have a, what do you call those things that let people know your driver's license plate? License plate, that's what it's called. A license plate. We don't have one of those. So you can't identify this guy if he runs over your crates. Oh, look at this guy. He's a criminal. And we also need an exhaust pipe. So we can do both of those, right? We can do both of those. We've got the time. We've got the skill. We've got the know-how. And, yeah, let's do it. Alright. There are a few ways you guys can approach this back area. Alright. So you can do something like this where you just select this poly right here, right? Hold down shift, drag out into an element, scale it, right? So this is as easy as it can be. I'm gonna just inset, so I give myself a little frame. Inset like that. Extrude, just a smidge. Not a lot, a smidge. Right, a smidge, that's a very, very technical term right there in 3D, smidge. If you hear that from your art director, you know you need to add a smidge. In between a dollop and I couldn't think of anything else. Alright, we'll just continue modeling. Model, 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 that's what we do here. Alright, boom, like that. Ring like that. Connect. Oh, yes. Then do the same ring. Connect. You guys get the drift. You're ringing and you're connecting. You're connecting and you're ringing and you're ringing and you're. Then one day you wake up and you realize you've ringed for so long and you've connected for so long. What are you gonna do now with your life after you've ringed and connected and ringed and connected? Alright, guys. Alright, let me just add detach. Let's do effect. So I can get my pivot back to it, and then whoop up up. Right, look at that. I'm gonna do the same thing I did for the front. I'm gonna bend this guy like Beckham. I'm gonna bend it like Beckham. So we got this guy, right? I'm gonna grab it like so. Then shift. Because this is gonna be our bumper. Bumper to bumper. Actually, let me just select these guys. Like so. And then instead of that, I'm gonna chamfer this guy. Like so. Reduce, reduce, reduce. Calm down. Like that. And then just select these guys right here. Pull them up so we've got a decent silhouette going on here. Alright, look at that. We got some bumpers, we've got some... Just gonna shift. Nope, 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 nope. You're not doing the right thing, computer. I mean tie. Alright. Sometimes you gotta talk nice to the computer or it won't do what you want. I know you guys haven't known this, but trust me, sometimes you just gotta talk nice to your computer. Sometimes you gotta disrespect your computer for it to do what you want. But at times, I find talking good, complimenting the computer, this usually yields the best results. Alright, and just like that, we have made ourselves a car. Does it go? I don't know. But we have a car. Does anybody have any questions for me? We have 3 minutes to spare. Whoop, whoop. 3 minutes. We can do anything we want in 3 minutes. Alright. Does anybody have any questions? Comments? Concerns? I'm going to delete that. We don't need that guy anymore. Bye-bye, guys. Bye-bye, people we don't need anymore. Huh? 2020, new number. Who this? Let's go. Boom. Alright. So, if you guys have no questions for me, we can adjourn. Oh no, I missed something. Oh, oops. Let me move this guy. Just shift drag. Make it a copy. Thinking to see if I might want to move this guy a little bit in. Like that. And this guy a little bit. It's more flush. More flush with the model. Actually, I need to rotate this guy. A 180. Like that. Huh. That's right. All right. Record time. I don't think I added let's just add. Orange. Hey, orange or red? it's red and orange. Okay. I have red somewhere. Okay, I got it right there. And then this one's like orangey. Alright, so you can just go in here. Alright, let me show you guys a cool trick. Alright, this is something cool inside of 3ds Max that you can do. So let's select this guy right here. And we can assign different materials to these. We can assign different material IDs to these. And then throw like a metal here and then a different color here. So I can set the ID to 2. And then grab these guys right here. So right now all of these are set to 2. So control, so let's grow this. Shrink. And then if I hit control I, I'm going to select that base and I'm going to set that to 1. Alright, so now it should have a different material ID. So now I can select material ID 1 here and then assign a different material to it. So let's find like a gray or silver or something. And then control I. So let's add a multi-sub object here. Right, and then I'm gonna let's see, let's grab a physical material. We'll use this as that gray base, and then we'll use a copy of this as the orange for the reflector. So here I can assign, let's do, set the number to 2 since we only have 2 in there. So we can set a sub object of 2. So now we've only got 2 material nodes, and I know that this guy, the ID is 2, so I'm gonna put the metal reflector in 2, or the reflector in 2, and then the metal in 1. So now when I assign this multi-sub object to it, watch what happens. Boom, it's gonna give me the materials I want on the object I want. Right, and I can do the same thing. So that's a multi-sub object material right here. So what it does is it allows you to, you know, do different materials on different objects. Because the problem with the reason that I can't do it when I have all these layers on is because of that. I have all these layers on, so it's like, well, you don't it's not gonna let me assign the materials to what I want. So let me grow this as well. Shrink that twice, and then we'll set this ID so you guys can see it. All right, we're gonna set it to 2, and then we're gonna control I everything else. We're gonna set that to 1, right? And then we can do the same thing where we grab this yellow, this reflector yellow. This is gonna be our reflector, and then we can set this guy, set the number, set it to 2. Okay. And then knowing that this base is 1, once again, I can even just grab this same metal node and then throw it in 1, and then throw this guy in 2. So I'm using the same metal node, right? I'm still using the same one. Now if I do something to it, everything that I do affects it. So I can make it a complete metal now, and now it's going to affect both of those guys. So now all I need to do is go back out and then just assign this. So now these guys are using that same metal, right, and the same their reflector colors. So in these guys, are they copies or instances? So because they're copies, I can't I don't have the same thing, so I'd have to delete these guys, grab these, and then shift drag these guys as an instance. Okay. Or actually just mirror them so that I can, let's make it an instance, make it Y. Okay. Okay, mirror, no clone. X, Z, Y. Alright. So everything's in now. Alright. It should be it. I think the only thing left is the steering wheel, which we never addressed, right? Okay, let's do that right quick. I thought I was done. What? Hey, you guys didn't tell me about the steering wheel. Let's just throw this edit poly in there, and then just gonna select. Actually, I'm gonna select this. I'm gonna create shape from the selection. Instead of like that, I'm gonna turn this into edit poly. Select this guy, flip it around, do an inset. Inset. Right click. Come on. Plus twice. And then I can do local. And then just push it on this local axis like that. Grow, grow. Alright, so let's look at this guy. So pretty much it's this. Actually, it's okay, let's do this like that. Bring this guy down. Alright, I'm gonna bring this guy to the side. And then Control I, delete, like that. Okay. And then inset. Make this into an object. Okay. Now I can see select these guys. Select these guys, control, select these guys. And then I can just scale them. Local. Just scale these guys. Let's do view. Oh, okay. Okay. Just pulling these guys out so that they go inside the steering wheel. And then I can just shell this. Okay, so I made this piece for the steering column right here. So I can just just extrude it. Okay, select this guy. Scale this guy in. Instead of view, let's do local and then pull this guy up. And then just extrude, nope. Cancel. Pull this guy up and then just shift drag. Alright. Alright. And just like that, we have finished. I thought we were done earlier, but I didn't even account for the steering wheel. So now we're done. Alright. Now I'm 10 minutes over. Alright, so if you guys don't have a question, the video is pretty much done here for now. Let's take off no board. Let's do a quick spinny roo for the viewers at home. Oh no, what happened to my chair? Goodbye. I will see you guys later. Alright, guys.